Hi, I'm Julia Eisenstadt.
And I'm Chloe Linkner.
Welcome to the Valley of Crashes, crash courses for all of your Great Gatsby needs.
Today, we dive into the lives of a few of the characters from the story and analyze how Fitzgerald exaggerates the stereotypes to create a satirical critique of the 1920s.
Gatsby believed in the green light, the orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. It eluded us then, but that's no matter. Tomorrow we will run faster, stretch our arms farther, and one fine morning, so we beat on, both against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past.
This quote is satirical of the American dream because most people believe that the harder they try, the more likely they are to succeed. However, we see that this is not true due to the tragic ending of the story. Nick is saying that no matter how hard we try, we will just be pushed back into the same spot as before. Throughout the book, however, there are other instances of satire that exploit the gruesome truth of the 1920s. And now we turn over to Julia, interviewing Tom.
Thanks, Chloe. Hello, Tom. So we have heard much about your life living in the fashionable East Egg. So why don't you tell us about your everyday life?
Well, in the morning, after the servants fetch me some breakfast, I usually spend most of my day playing polo in my front yard. I've been playing polo ever since I attended Yale. The sport of polo really appeals to me because I can prove my masculinity and power.
Clearly you are blue-blooded. So how do you feel about the West Egg and the new wealth that occupies it?
Those people do not have class. They try to be flashy with all their parties, but clearly their life is all for show materialism, with a total disrespect for social classes that have been in place for centuries. Just a few weeks ago, I was speaking to the notorious party thrower, Great Gatsby, may he rest in peace. Crazy thing what happened to him, but who is Gatsby anyhow? Some big bootlegger? A lot of these newly rich people are just bootleggers, you know.
Here, Tom is demonstrating the divide in social classes during the 1920s. Tom is a part of the prestigious upper class, where Gatsby, although he is wealthy, is part of the newly rich, who focus more on material items to show off, rather than class and social status like Tom and those who live on the East Egg. Tom is being critical of the way that Gatsby made his money, suggesting that he was selling alcohol illegally. Tom's brooding personality relates to the gender inequality and the divide in social classes in the 1920s. He is critical of the newly rich, like Gatsby, who threaten his power. Also, when talking about bootlegging, the author is analyzing the corrupt business that took place. Fitzgerald is being satirical of the harsh social structure that plagued the United States during this time. Well, it was sure nice talking to you. After the break, we will talk with the professional golfer and partygoer, Jordan Baker.
And we're back with Flapper Girl Jordan Baker. Jordan, you and Nick Carey seem to have gotten pretty close this summer. What do you have to say about that?
Me and him have gotten very close, that's true. He listens to me and knows how to keep a secret. We both hate careless people, and we don't have time for people who don't fascinate us. I'm always on the go, and I don't have time for people to waste.
So tell me about yourself. What are your hobbies? Your desires in life?
Well, I'm the best professional women's golfer New York has to offer. But my favorite thing is going to parties. Before Gatsby's tragic accident, I would go to his parties every weekend. Anyhow, he gives large parties, and I like large parties. They're so intimate. Small parties, there isn't any privacy.
Jordan represents the classic flapper girl of the 1920s. She spends a vast amount of time going around to parties and social events. She doesn't know Gatsby personally, but she goes to his parties anyways to increase her flapper girl status. When Gatsby pulls Jordan aside at one of his parties, Jordan uses it as another way to increase her status. She uses the gossip and the secrecy to make herself seem more important to the people around her. Fitzgerald uses Jordan to portray the rise of youth culture in the 1920s. Young adults now had more access to mobilization with inventions such as the automobile. This is the first time in history where youths are able to have their own experience on their own time. Having more access to freedom, young adults choose to live their lives without being dictated by their parents. Jordan's notorious gossiping and flapper qualities show a direct relation to how Fitzgerald is being satirical of the youth culture at the time.
And now we are here with East Egg Golden Girl, Daisy Buchanan. Daisy, we hear that you and Mr. Gatsby had a rather close relationship. Care to tell us about it?
Yes, it's true. Gatsby and I were in love at one point. However, I had to choose Tom as my husband. He was able to supply me with the lifestyle I'm used to, and I need to survive somehow. It was too risky to go with Jay right away from the beginning. I need someone to take care of me.
And tell us about your daughter, Pamela. We hear she's grown up to be quite adorable.
Little Pammy. I woke up out of the ether with an utterly abandoned feeling and asked the nurse right away if it was a boy or a girl. She told me it was a girl, and so I turned my head away and wept. Alright, I said. I'm glad it's a girl. I hope she'll be a fool. That's the best thing a girl can be in this world. A beautiful little fool.
As he said this, we immediately became confused. What mother wishes for their child to be a fool? Daisy wishes for her daughter to be a fool so that she can be naive and oblivious to the people who hurt her, unlike her mother who continues to be hurt as her husband cheats on her. Here, Daisy is representing the shallowness of the upper class, because even though she is no longer happy in her marriage, she refuses to give up the luxurious life that she has with Tom. Fitzgerald uses Daisy Buchanan to demonstrate the consumerist ideals of the 20s. Although she was in love with Gatsby when she first got married, she decided to marry Tom anyways in order to keep up her lifestyle. Even years later, she knows that Tom is having an affair. She still doesn't leave him, afraid that when she says goodbye to Tom, she says goodbye to her lifestyle as well. The choices that Daisy makes demonstrate the shallowness of the upper class. Through Daisy, Fitzgerald is critiquing the moral values of the society during the 1920s.
We see how Fitzgerald creates a satirical presence through the characters. We hope you learned something new today.
Looks like I've got a wardrobe malfunction to deal with.
Join us next time on The Valley of Crashes.